Ladies and gentlemen, may I proudly bring to you, this is Wwe Soul, and this is my review for the WWE Raw 24th of March 2014. That's correct. Yeah, it's a spoiler-filled review, therefore if you're thinking of watching this show, I'll just give you a little bit of advice about watching this show. I would say don't bother watching it. It's not really worth it that much. Yeah, it's really all about WrestleMania time right now. All focus is to 2 weeks ahead, where WrestleMania will be taking place in New Orleans. So it's just basically a lead-up show to that. So if you're after basically just a little bit of spoilers and what match is going to take place, etc. It may be okay for watching, but as far as wrestling and excitement, etc., it's not a great deal. So if you want to watch it, go ahead. If you don't want to watch it, don't go ahead either. So that's it. From this point onwards, it is spoiler time. Yes. Okay. So initially, we had Stephanie McMahon coming out and then talking about Daniel Bryan and what she and her husband did to Daniel Bryan for beating him up so bad, and saying that we did go too far, and we agree with you that we went far, but quite frankly, obviously, you can't spit in the face of the McMahons and get away with it. And Triple H is going to be the WWE champ. And after she said that, suddenly out of nowhere, Randy Orton decided to come down with his boring music, and then tried to do a little bit of a promo himself, and said that basically, Stephanie, what I want you to do is make him walk away from the main event match. And just as Stephanie was going to reply, dee-doo, 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 it was Batista came down the rafter. And he came down posing as like The Rock, as usual, a little bit. I mean, he's got his own individual style, there's no doubt about it, but when he first comes out and, postures, it seems as though he's trying to posture like The Rock. But then he comes in the ring and then he talks a bit of stuff on the microphone, and then basically the microphone stops working. And then Stephanie had to intervene and say, here's a new mic, I can't hear a damn thing he's saying. And he went, mic check, 1, 2. And went on a rant, really, just saying that, quite frankly, this whole situation, I'm the guy who's going to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and you guys just should know this, Triple H has never beaten me. And Randy Orton, you're a fool, and you just suck up to Stephanie McMahon, and then the week after you suck up to Triple H. That's all you do, and you keep drooling. Why don't you just keep drooling next to her right now? And then he went on to saying that, well, I can't really say it, but I can say it, but I'm not going to say it because it's embarrassing somebody's wife, so therefore I'm not going to say that. So basically, he embarrassed Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, and Stephanie basically gave him a slap for his insult and walked out of the ring. Stephanie did, and to be truthful, it did seem to me that this was just completely off the cuff. No one saw this coming, and it wasn't part of their scripted process, because when Randy Orton was speaking, it seemed so damn scripted. And same with Batista, when he was talking, it seems very scripted. But as Batista got more into it, it just seemed he just went off on one, and basically, Randy Orton's reaction was just as mine is right now. I'm basically in shock, like, what did he say to Stephanie McMahon Helmsley? And then straight away he got speared by Batista, and Batista held the titles in the air and said well, he didn't say that he's going to be the champ, but he's, implying it. And then basically posed at the top of the Titantron, while Randy Orton was, basically looking after his stomach at the bottom of the ring, next to the ring apron. So that was that segment, and quite frankly, no one knows what's going on there. And but it will be interesting to see what's going to happen. My guess is this: Triple H is going to win the title, and maybe we're going to get Evolution back together again. Maybe we will, because quite frankly, Randy Orton himself is not doing great on his own. But then again, he's still a big name player. Batista, though, the only thing what kind of makes me think no, it's not going to happen is the fact that Batista's going to be leaving in a few months anyway for Guardians of the Galaxy to promote that. Because I think it's out in May or June or something like that. So he's clearly not going to be there for that. So the Evolution concept I don't think is going to happen, but I do feel as though Triple H is going to win it, and it's going to be all about the Authority. And they're going to screw Daniel Bryan out of it somehow, and that will be interesting to see for sure. But anyway, next on the agenda, Big E came down, and he was sitting on the side of the ring, on the chair, viewing this fatal four-way match that whoever will win will be facing Big E for the Intercontinental Championship on main event on Tuesday. And it was Del Rio versus Christian versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus, and it was one hell of a match, that is for sure. One of the good segments, Sheamus, as usual, he's a very physical guy. He basically did a fallaway slam to Christian on the barricade outside the ring. My gosh, Christian can take a punishment, can't he? Quite frankly, you just think, wait a minute, if there was a nuclear bomb explosion, who would survive it? It would be Christian, wouldn't it? I think so. There's no doubt about it. And then to top it off, halfway through the match, it was really, really good. Dolph Ziggler decided to head plant Sheamus into the into the ring, in the middle of a ring from the top rope, and almost got the victory. Then Del Rio missed one of his kicks, which he does, where he goes to the second rope and kicks the guy in the head, and he missed what's his name, Sheamus, while Sheamus was going to smack Dolph Ziggler's chest. And that was a little funny segment for everybody to see, that was, there's no doubt about it. But Del Rio ended up super kicking Christian at the back of his head. Now, I think Del Rio needs to kind of, look at himself and go, you know what, take it easy, it's the back of the head, you don't do to the back of the head, guys, come on, it's professional wrestling, back of the head's dangerous. Anyway, what do I know, I guess? No, it's obvious, you don't do that to someone's back of the head, it's not good. But Christian, he is what we call an enigma himself. There's no doubt about it. So he would survive a nuclear explosion, therefore he can survive a kick to the back of his head. And then Sheamus got a cloverleaf to Del Rio, which was good to see. I've never seen that done for a while, and it wasn't just like a normal little cloverleaf where the guy is not applying pressure at all. It was a very physical, like a Walls of Jericho style of, the old Walls of Jericho style of cloverleaf, where he's almost going to be breaking the neck at the bottom, but obviously it's not that difficult. And eventually it all got to a good little ending where Christian ended up winning, and we got Christian versus Big E. Big E tried to shake his hand and Christian didn't shake it, which is good to see, because Christian's after the title. He's after bigger things, and this is what we want to see with Christian, and good luck to Christian, I personally think he's done everything in the world to basically retire, in my opinion. I think he's achieved everything. He's had the World Championship. He's done it all. He's done it all in TNA. He's done it all in WWE. What more does he want to achieve? But obviously, there is something in Christian's mind that he just cannot fathom to stop doing this. But I think, well, good on him, really. Then, in that case, you know, Christian, go for it, and hopefully he wins the match against Big E. I would have liked to see Dolph Ziggler versus Big E. That would have been a really good build up to the 2 weeks in WrestleMania, and then they would have had a big main event in WrestleMania where it would be Big E versus Dolph Ziggler. It would be kind of like Shawn Michaels versus Kevin Nash, when Kevin Nash was his bodyguard and Kevin Nash won the world title, and then it was like, you betrayed me, and basically Kevin Nash is saying, you just changed, man, you changed, etc. However, it will be the opposite, where Big E is basically telling Dolph Ziggler, you changed, you became a bit of a wimp. So, but obviously you've only got 2 weeks to build it up, not enough time, and I guess that's the end of that. Now, the next thing on the agenda was Bray Wyatt. He decided to do a promo with his Brothers of Craziness, and at the beginning I just thought, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. As usual, he just talks like a teacher, where they talk a load of nonsense, and then halfway through they talk a little bit of sense, and which is the most important bit, which basically was saying that, you know, John Cena is getting shoved down everybody's throats, and it's hard not to see John Cena. But what you gonna do, John, when we're gonna be basically destroying you? So that's what I got from this. And in fact, when I saw this promo, I just thought, it's not good. I just think it's too soon for John Cena and Bray Wyatt to be, you know, fighting each other. I just think they've just built this up in the last 2 weeks. A month before WrestleMania, we've just decided, let's build Bray Wyatt, and by him facing John Cena. Where the hell did this come from? Anyway, I'm going to talk about this more in a minute. Now, Scooby-Doo came out with Sin Cara. That's right, Scooby-Doo. Obviously not the real one. A guy dressed up in a Scooby-Doo costume and walking with Sin Cara as well. Not the real one. Not the Sin Cara, the real one. It's the fake Sin Cara. Because it looks as though that WWE have bought the rights of Sin Cara. And it's Scooby-Doo. Apparently they were promoting Scooby-Doo, the cartoon movie as such, or episode DVD, where Scooby-Doo is trying to find out who is the imposter in the who's trying to stop a WWE main event. And well, whatever. I mean, it's good for kids. It'll be good to see. So, you know, if you want to go buy it, kids out there, by all means, go do it. It's very, you know, it may be good to see in cartoon format for sure. But you know, then it was Sin Cara versus Sandown. Now Sin Cara, this fake Sin Cara, I like this little entrance where he jumps over the damn ropes. I'm sure there's a trampoline at the front or something, or how can he reach that damn high? It's pretty damn good for Sin Cara anyway. But Sin Cara versus Sandown, this was a real short match, which was good to see, because I just don't like it when they put them neon lights on, which is just like a nightclub type of lights on, and it's like, come on, man, turn the lights on properly so we can watch this match properly. However, they didn't do that, so thank goodness the match didn't last long, because it's not really good to see that, you know, matches in the dark, and it just seemed, what the heck, put the lights on, my friend. And Sin Cara finished it off with a swanton and won the match, and that was the end of that. Now, you know, it was not building up to anything except the Scooby-Doo. So, Scooby-Doo, everybody, buy it if you like. Anyway, Los Matadores versus Ryback. Well, sorry, I'll quickly just go on to that. It seems to me as though WWE is moving in the direction of doing these little movies and animation types of things, and I think they are going towards the entertainment side in terms of maybe because they're in cahoots with Warner Brothers for this. So quite frankly, it seems as though that, who knows? You've got Scooby-Doo now. You never know. You might get another type of cartoon movie. You might get Superman because Warner Brothers owns Superman. You never know. You never know. I'd love to see that. That would be good little segments. You never know what might happen. That might be with the WWE studios. Might be able to do something like that if they're listening. That will be good to see, as opposed to, you know, we got Scooby-Doo, but obviously the Scooby-Doo is for the, you know, children market, which is what wrestling is based on at the moment. Anyway, now we have Los Matadores versus Rybaxel. Now during this match, we basically found out that Rybaxel is going to be facing Usos at WrestleMania, and I just thought to myself, what the heck is going on? What happened to the New Age Outlaws getting their title shot back again? That was a great little feud that they had going, where it was the Usos and the New Age Outlaws. You had New Age Outlaws talking on the mic, doing their thing. What the heck happened? And wasn't it supposed to be the Real Americans which were facing the Usos for the world title? They just beat the Usos last week on a clear-cut victory. Suddenly, now we've got Rybaxel facing the Usos at WrestleMania. You've got to be kidding me. This is absolutely ridiculous. To be truthful, I'm not even too sure whether Ryback and Curtis Axel should be on the WrestleMania card. So why have you put them guys on there versus the Usos? It's going to be a lame match. I don't know. I don't know sometimes with WWE. Do they even, know what they're doing? Sometimes I just really do think that. Because quite frankly, no one even remotely wants to see this. If you do, good on you though. If you want to see it, good for you. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to see it. We've seen it before in the past, where it's Ryback versus the Usos doing their thing and flying about, doing their brilliant stuff. But the match itself, it's all Usos doing their thing, yes. And Curtis Axel and Ryback are just doing their little power moves, but doing nothing in terms of promotion. And it's really sucks as far as I'm concerned. I would have liked to see the New Age Outlaws or even the Real Americans. But anyway, I don't know what them lot are thinking at the moment at the time. Now, during the match between Rybaxel and Le Matadores, Shield basically came down the rafters and distracted Curtis Axel, and due to this, the Shield basically beat, well, they didn't beat, sorry, I'm going off now, but what happened is basically, the Los Matadores guy did an inside cradle and got the victory over Curtis Axel. Then straight after that, Shield came into the ring and basically slammed Ryback, did that, picking up the guy and powerbombing him, and powerbombed Ryback, and that was the end of... The reason they did that was because the Shield got attacked by Rybaxel during SmackDown last week anyway, so I guess it's good to see that Shield basically destroyed Rybaxel, and that little segment will be over with between them. Or will it? Who really knows? But, as far as I'm concerned, it kind of put a full stop, because they slammed Ryback, into the middle of a ring, and it was like, we've conquered him, it's over now. And then on to the next section, where basically Triple H and Michael Cole decided to have a one-to-one Oprah session in the middle of a ring, and Triple H was complaining and saying that, I don't like it when people try to impose their will on me as such, etc. And completely hijack Raw. I don't like it. And quite frankly, Daniel Bryan wanted this. He wanted this. He wanted not the corporate guy. He wanted the real, Triple H, the competitor. And he wanted it, and he got what he deserved. And it was good. And then he talked about, here's what I've got now. Here's what I got. is the beginning of the reality era. I'm gonna create, this is a reality era now, because quite frankly, everybody nowadays has gone soft. Everybody in the back, everywhere else, they've gone soft. So now I'm gonna bring back the era that I have the power. And it's a big era of reality. And I don't know whether he meant by the Attitude Era is coming back, but quite frankly it didn't seem like that. Because it seems a lot of people are just afraid to do what they want to do. In terms of, and the scripts keep changing every so week. But one thing Triple H did promise is that he's gonna be the champion of WrestleMania, and quite frankly, I think the same thing. I think it's gonna be Triple H gonna be winning. In you know, what would be a good heel turn would be is Daniel Bryan turning heel, but obviously they can't do that because right now he's such a face right now. He's such a baby face. There's no way Daniel Bryan is going to do that in WrestleMania. So I do feel as though that Triple H is going to win the match against Daniel Bryan somehow by, you know, getting people involved in it. Maybe Bray Wyatt, etc. And then he's going to go on in the main event and someone is going to screw someone over. So he might be Randy Orton basically screws Batista over, or Batista screws Randy Orton over, and then Randy Orton the following day becomes a babyface. But I doubt that's going to happen as well with Randy Orton. I think Batista's going to be kicked to the curb because obviously he's going to be going in a few months, and who knows, after WrestleMania, maybe another couple of more Raws, he might go disappear straight away. Because it is April, at the end of the day, it is April. Anyway, next one on the agenda, it was Fandango versus Cody Rhodes. This little segment, they followed it up from last week where Goldust was dancing. Again, Goldust danced at the side of the ring and kind of distracted Fandango, causing Cody Rhodes to get the victory, and that was the end of that. Now, to me, I just don't know, again, what they're doing with it, with guys who they've got, like Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Shouldn't they be in the Tag Team Championship match? I'll be honest, I would rather watch them than Ryback, because Ryback just, I really don't like watching them as a tag team. They just don't, they're not good continuity, they haven't got no, you know, sure, Ryback is the power guy, but he's not great in terms of his technical ability, in terms of his power movement. Curtis Axel, I'm afraid he's not as, unfortunately, he's not reached that level yet. I don't get it. Why can't these guys be the tag team competitors again for the title? But as usual, we don't know what's going on. Now, on to the next segment, where Hulk Hogan came down doing his thing, and I guess it's good to see Hulk Hogan back. But at the same time, you think, wait a minute, isn't this supposed to be about other guys? Isn't this WrestleMania supposed to be about the Ultimate Warrior coming back, or Jake the Snake, or Mr. T? You know, isn't it supposed to be about them guys? Again, as Hulk Hogan does it as usual, he steals the spotlight. He does it all the time, he always has, and he always steals the spotlight. Fair play. Good on Hogan. He does it very, very well. He knows when to come, when not to come, and basically just steals the show. And basically he was there to promote Sabotage, the movie, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and some other actor. And this was a good little segment where you kind of saw The Miz come out, and simply because Arnold Schwarzenegger asked, can you hook me up with the fact that me and my actor friend can be in the 20-man Battle Royal? And Hulk was going, yeah man, I might be able to hook you up with that. And then suddenly out of nowhere, The Miz comes out and does his great promo and says, what, really? 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 This is a joke. You guys are actors. I am a real fighter, and you guys are just merely actors. You do not have any fighting ability. I am a fighter doing a bit of acting on the side. And then he talked about his movie, which he was in. Honestly, good luck to The Miz. I honestly didn't see that, and unfortunately I don't fancy wanting to watch that movie, whatever it was. Unfortunately for The Miz. Now, one of the other actor friend basically said to The Miz, "Hey, I'll sort you out right now." So The Miz went to hit him. He caught a little punch to the face. Arnold swung at him, giving him a hammer fist. And then Hulk Hogan chucked him over the rope, and it was like a good little segment where it was kind of like watching the Expendables win at the end, and you know, the Expendables walk into the sunset. It was a nice little segment there for nostalgia, that is for sure. And Sabotage itself, it looks like a good movie, to be truthful. Damn, they got me there, haven't they? It does look like a good movie, though. It does look like a bit of a realistic type of movie, but it's R-rated, so be careful, kids. Do not, well, obviously you can't watch it. Anyway, Titus O'Neil for the Big Show. Now, apparently Titus O'Neil was supposed to get a push. Clearly he's not. He's not getting no mic time at all. And you can't even actually... You're not even allowed to listen to his entrance music, because we didn't even know that he actually was coming into the ring. He was already there. But we did know that the Big Show was coming, because his music played afterwards. And he came down the rafters. And this match didn't last long, thank goodness. Titus O'Neil mounted some offense. Then Show decided, hey, I'm sick of this, and got him and punched him in the jaw, and that was the end of the match. So Titus O'Neil is finished, and I think him and his push is gonna be obsolete. I think for Titus, you might as well go to TNA. You have a better opportunity to get a better position. However, it's up to them. I mean, obviously they want to be in the main industry, which is the WWE, but I think Titus, you've been there for so long, you're a big specimen dude. They could use you quite a bit. But they ain't gonna, unfortunately. And I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. But they should book him with some other good guys, that would be good. But anyway, they had this other little segment now where John Cena was basically in the locker room, and he was washing his face, and he was stressed out of his head, and he was scared. And then in the rear view mirror, you saw a goat face. And you know what this segment reminded me of? It reminded me of when Ultimate Warrior was doing his OWN thing, where Hulk Hogan was looking in the mirror, and behind the mirror was Ultimate Warrior, and everything Hulk Hogan was doing, the Ultimate Warrior was copying, and it looked like a stupid segment back then when Hulk Hogan was doing it, and Ultimate Warrior was doing it. It would look like a really dumb, real childish segment. Only probably really kids would get it, but for me, I just didn't like it. That segment itself didn't last back then with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. It really didn't, and it never worked back then at all. And that was one of the things with WCW. They could have worked with the Ultimate Warrior very, very well, but obviously Ultimate Warrior's plans with that segment really didn't sell well, and I think it's the same thing over here. You just kind of think, wait a minute, come on. It's too immature, it's too ridiculous, it's definitely not believable, and it just isn't working. I don't know about you guys, but this whole John Cena and Bray Wyatt thing is just not working. It really isn't. And the fact that Cena was facing Luke Harper, and it's kind of like, wait a minute, why is Cena facing Luke Harper? And because if Luke Harper beats John Cena, then what's the purpose of Luke Harper you know, what's the purpose of Bray Wyatt versus John Cena at WrestleMania? What is the point of it? But luckily, one little good segment came out at the end of that was when they switched the lights off and tied John Cena to the ropes and stuck a goat face on his face, and that was the end of that segment. But honestly, I think it's just too silly and too unrealistic. They should have done it a lot more severe. I just don't know. I mean, when they first started it off with John Cena where he was in the ring and then they injured him, that was okay. But after that, I think it's just getting silly and childish, immature-ish, and I don't think it's going to work. And, you know, this whole build-up where John Cena said, "Oh, I'm scared. Oh, Bray Wyatt, I'm scared. I'm scared." Oh, come on. Does anybody believe that? Probably little kids, but who don't know that it's not real. But come on, it was just, I couldn't stand it, really. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. If it was for you, good for you. Anyway, Razor Ramon is now in the Hall of Fame 2014. Hey Chico, say hello to the bad guy. Yeah, it's good that he is in the Hall of Fame. However, I'm thinking to myself, whoa, have they got a big lineup for Hall of Fame, eh? They've got Mr. T, Ultimate Warrior, Lita, Jake the Snake Roberts, some other guys as well. Oh, Paul Bearer, yeah. But obviously, you know, God rest his soul. And they've got basically a big lineup. I think they're just building all this up simply because they were on the WWE network and they want everybody to watch it, which I'm sure they will. But I think, you know, they're not going to give enough time, and it's going to be too much for people to comprehend. They could have split some for next year. That would have been good to see, because then you know, you'd give everybody justice for my sake. You know what I mean? You'd give everybody their own little segments. But now it's getting watered down because the main focus is not like one purpose or one person or a few people. It's each and every one, but they're all. It's just getting watered down. Not really watered down, but I just, you know, the focus is going off all the main guys. I think Ultimate Warrior alone would have sold it, and a few other guys would have done it. But now the fact that they've got so many, they really, you know, put in too much where we don't really need. But, well, I guess Vince wants it because it's WWE Network time, so whatever on that note. It's still going to be good to see, though. There's no doubt about it. You got Razor Ramon. Anyway, next week on Raw, apparently, it's going to be Randy versus Batista in a match next week. That'll be good to see. But then, anyway, next match of the day was The Shield versus the Real Americans. This was a good match to see, with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus the Real Americans. Now, this was a good one because they were just very physical, and Seth Rollins, my gosh, again as usual, and keep saying it every week, but he really pulls it out of the bag in terms of his high-flying ability. I'll tell you, if you thought Jeff Hardy was amazing, Seth Rollins is bloody well good, man. He is like a Spider-Man. He is like a modern-day Spider-Man, the guy is. And wow, he finishes the match off with a move which is called the Peace of Mind, which is where the guy's kneeling down and kicks the guy's back of his head and crushes his face on the floor. Not very, what do you call it, kind, is it, really? Not very good for children to see, but what the heck. But then, straight after that, Roman Reigns, because, what's his name? Cesaro gets up and starts to take it at Seth Rollins at the end of the match, because obviously the Shield won. Roman Reigns then decides to Superman punch Cesaro and then spear him, and then the Shield get together and powerbomb Cesaro through the table. And this was the end little segment for the Real Americans, because the Real Americans are now going to be finished in terms of their segment with, what's his name, with the Shield, because last week on SmackDown, the Real Americans attacked the Shield as well. So, saying that, at the end of the match, Kane came out and then introduced and said that him and the New Age Outlaws are going to be facing the Shield at WrestleMania. Honestly, this will be a good match to see, because Shield will be together, and apparently they're going to be breaking up Shield soon, so, gosh, a great trifecta of a team. They're going to be splitting them up. Hopefully it's not at WrestleMania, probably after WrestleMania. But I feel as though that they're going to lose the match against Kane and the New Age Outlaws. But hopefully it will be a good match to see, there's no doubt about that. You've got New Age Outlaws and Kane, but I don't know why New Age Outlaws should be for the main event for the Tag Team Championship. This would have worked much better, but I do not know what the bookers are doing sometimes. It really does not make sense. But anyway, the last match, well, it wasn't the last match, the last bit of the evening was when Brock Lesnar came out and said, well, he didn't say anything much at the beginning, because Paul Heyman, as usual, gets the mic and starts to talk and talk and talk and talk. And honestly, usually you can listen to Paul Heyman. On this occasion, I really did get bored of it. I really did. I didn't know what he was going on about, and I switched off because it was just him going on about Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, and how it's been impossible for anybody to do anything about it, and go 21-0. Oh my gosh. But then Brock Lesnar, I think, was thinking the same thing that I was, and decided to say, hey Paul, I'm sick of this, I'm not here to promote, I'm here to fight. And said, let's do this. And I thought, yeah man, this was going to be a good little segment. And it was a little good segment, it was. Because then the druids with the hoods on their head brought a casket to the ring. And then Brock Lesnar then decided to kick it and then open it up, and obviously there was nothing in there. And then he said, what? You think this is a joke? You think this is a joke? And then Paul Heyman then decided to say that, what? You see, you guys, your Undertaker basically brought an empty casket. He's absolutely pathetic, etc. and all the other stuff. And out of nowhere, then the casket reopened again, and the Undertaker did his little his thing, where he sits up and looks at the guy, and that was a good segment. And then he came in the ring, and then they got it on a little bit, and I think this is going to be a good match at WrestleMania. I think that these two guys are going to work at it, and the fact that they've already worked together in the back for this prior to WrestleMania, I think that's what's going to make this match a really good one. Because the Undertaker, apparently what he does is, I think a month or two before, he works with the guys before the actual match itself, and it's good that they will be working, and it will be a good match to see, there's no doubt about it, at WrestleMania. Oh yeah! It's going to be good, that match. And Undertaker looks healthy, man. He really does. He looks really healthy. For a 49-year-old, he looks pretty damn good in shape. I think this whole taking a year off thing, it works for him. I think sometimes this whole schedule of working, more or less 5 days a week, and taking bumps all the time is too much on his body for his age. And I think this is just ideal for him, doing it once a year, and I think he looks pretty damn healthy, and I think it's going to be a good, decent match to see. Hopefully we get to see a lot of MMA in this, because, what's his name? You're going to take away his, signature type of triangle type of move, what he does. That will be in it, where Brock Lesnar might try to do something. Hopefully there'll be some good little segments where he will try to do some ground and pound. Undertaker as well. He always got that MMA type of style of gloves, etc., and that'll be good to see. And this match will be a good match. I'm pretty sure about this at WrestleMania. That's one thing for sure. Anyway, that's it from me. Wow, WrestleMania is coming in 2 weeks' time. Wow, who would have thought it's come so damn close? You got a whole load of matches, some which I just don't agree on, like for example By Prowsul versus Usos, but and the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I just think that's just a joke. I don't know why they joined the titles together. I think they're clearly doing it so that Triple H has both titles and he is the big man and runs the company as a COO and the guy who's got the title as well. So I think that's what they're trying to build it up to. Good. It'll be interesting. He does a great heel stuff. What's Triple H? So that'll be good to see. But as far as the match is concerned, I hate triple threat matches, and I think this is not going to be a good one as well. Where Triple H but Daniel Bryan will bring it as usual. He'll come and do his fight against Triple H. Oh, this is going to be a good match. Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. I don't know if it's a no disqualification match, is it? I don't think it is. So this will be good to see, because one thing about Triple H is that when he does matches which are no disqualification, they're always great matches. When he does a normal match, you know, where there is disqualification, they're really boring. They're really boring. Unfortunately, wherever there's hardware involved, where there's a steel cage or a Hell in a Cell, or where no disqualification, etc., last man standing, he does great matches. Triple H does great matches, but when it's technical ability, they're lame. But I'm telling you one thing, Daniel Bryan, when he comes to wrestle, he comes to wrestle, and I think this match is going to be awesome. This match will probably be one of the matches where you'll remember, hopefully. No, actually it won't, I don't know. But we'll find out, won't we? In 2 weeks' time at WrestleMania. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for listening to this, people. Peace out, everybody. Peace! Like, subscribe, share, and the full caboodle, etc. Peace out, everybody, again. Peace.